This is not financial advice on cocoro. Cocoro is the cash tag for a token on the Ethereum network that takes its meme from a dog named Cocoro. And in cryptocurrency, what will have happen often is you'll launch a project, that project will launch, and we'll have another project that takes the meta or investor narrative and launches around that narrative that was successful to try and capture a derivative play. Cocoro is technically a derivative of the Nero project. Nero is a derivative of the Doge project, as all these projects have been inspired by dogs, Shiba Inu dogs specifically, that are owned by a certain woman in Japan. And why this matters is when we have a successful project, in this case Doge, Doge is launched, no shortage of other dogs inspired by that meta or investor narrative. So Doge created Shiba, Shiba created Nero, and Nero created Kokoro. So people are always looking for a successful project that they can enter with a higher risk to reward profile. And in this case, you have Kokoro. What makes Cocoro special is it's in the same vein, and it's had a really impressive run since it started. It's at $8 million in its market capitalization at the recording of this video. And this asset launched on March 8th, 2025. So in less than a month, it's gained some significant traction on the Ethereum network, reaching almost over 3,000 holders in less than a month. So this is an incredibly bullish indicator. Holder count, especially on-chain assets, is a very important metric because it tells you how many people are holding that asset and what their belief is based on the volume that you'll see. Here's their X platform. It's almost got the same amount of people following it as people that hold it. And that's a very bullish indicator when you have more holders and followers on the X platform, especially when a project is this young, less than a month old. Here's their Telegram channel. It's got about that same level of engagement, around 2,000 people engaging it currently. And Telegram is very important. It's a way for you to directly communicate to your holders and the people interested in your project. Here's a screen recording of their website detailing out the meta, that this is Kokoro the dog, and how it's related to both the Doge and the Nero projects, as they are animals owned by the same owner in theory. And apparently they've sent an allocation of the token supply to Vitalik Buterin, the founder of the Ethereum network. This is something that developers will do often to create an attention and a buzz around their project, which is to send tokens to specific individuals, in this case Vitalik Buterin, to create an attention and a profile saying that Vitalik is holding it. And hopefully, and a good example of why Vitalik holding it matters is, in the case of SHIB, Vitalik sold his SHIB and then donated it. So you get the altruistic rub of being a supporter of things that have good purpose in the world when you donate to Vitalik. Now, it doesn't always translate. You can donate tokens to Vitalik. He may never access it. He may never sell them. They could just sit in his wallet. So it isn't determinative as to whether the Kokoro supply being donated to Vitalik will have any real impact, but it is a good marketing standpoint to say, hey, Vitalik is holding this asset, even if we sent it to him. Especially on the assumption that this asset may pump, then Vitalik could do something really generous with that, which is something he's always done. He's never, to my knowledge, he's never personally benefited from anything donated to him. But if he were to donate the Kokoro supply, once it hits a certain amount of market capitalization, that is what the development team is looking for. And to my knowledge, this is a CTO. If you're new to cryptocurrency, a CTO is a community takeover. It is when a developer will launch an asset, develop that asset to a certain level of market capitalization, and then stop developing the asset. The community invests in that space in the blockchain, then goes and does the work of a developer and propagates the meme and the message of that space on the blockchain. So this is a CTO similar to the Nero CTO that did really well last year. I do believe, even though there's no information that gives me this data, just my feeling is this is the same team that CTO'd the original Nero, and that this is their next iteration, a derivative asset in relation to the asset that they've already CTO'd and done really well with. I think the Nero on Ethereum almost reached $1 billion in market capitalization before the retracement in the marketplace. So the Cocoro team has a very winning meta, a black Shiba Inu dog on the Ethereum network that could really scale and run as people look for safe communities to join on the Ethereum network. So I'm going to start to wrap the video up here. I want to say thank you for your time and thank you for watching. If you found this video informative or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. My name is James Duryea III, aka the TH3 Crypto Kid on the X platform. I have a coffee company called High Volume Coffee Company, and if you'd like to support me or my channel, please go to my X platform, click the link in my bio, and buy a bag of coffee if you can. It really means the world to me to have your support, and please be aware that you're not just supporting me as an individual or my company, you're also supporting multiple communities on the Ethereum network as we take a portion of our profits and spot buy and burn the token supply that I'm the community takeover lead developer of. So I want to say thank you for your support for the High Volume Coffee Company brand. As for now, this has been not financial advice on cocoro.